Let's go to the other side of the Brexit dinner table. The office of the British Prime Minister says very large gaps remain between the two sides. One of the country's biggest grocery retailers has been stockpiling products in case the EU and the UK fail to make any headway by Sunday. Let's go to London to speak to our correspondent Tig Enright. Tig, very good morning to you. So what is Boris Johnson's strategy here? Is it now the point at which the country's preparing for a no deal?
Well, listen, the public strategy is to show Brussels and his base that he means business and that he won't back down so easily, but that he's still talking. Whether he's so confident about walking away without a deal in private, well, that's another thing entirely. We have long known that the EU's requirements and the dreams of Brexiteers are incompatible, and the UK has actually been preparing publicly for no deal for years now. How successful those plans are or could turn out to be is another thing entirely. Whereas the EU has shrouded whatever contingency plans it's making in secrecy. We might hear more about them, I think, in the coming days, though. And with all this focus on another deadline of this Sunday, I must say, is it really? It all sounds a bit woolly to me. A firm decision about the future of talks. It sounds to me like the recipe for another potential fudge, even at this late stage. I've just heard the UK Foreign Secretary, Dominic Raab, asked, is this it? Is Sunday yes or no? His answer was simply, probably. And another commentator, who interestingly is the husband of the new Downing Street press secretary, said that the only real deadline is December the 31st.
Yeah, because it seems to be Sunday a decision on whether to make a decision. One thing that people have been talking about, Tig, is what impact this deadline of the 31st, which we know is the hard one, could have on British holidaymakers looking to visit the European Union. Of course, there are lots of travel restrictions in place now, but British holidaymakers could be barred. Is that likely? Why is that the case?
Well, it is the case as things stand right now with the latest COVID restrictions, although I must stress this doesn't, on the face of it, have anything to do with deal or no deal. The EU's COVID restrictions say that non-essential inbound travel, so therefore tourists, are only allowed from a very short list of hand-picked countries that have relatively low COVID rates. And the UK is not among them. So if you happen to live here and only have a British passport, don't have a European passport too, well, you won't be able to travel to the continent come January the 1st. The European Commission says it has no plans to change that position. It is a question for the European Council. But it must be stressed that, we are, of course, living in exceptional times. So perhaps to some degree, people might understand the new restrictions, which could be very short-lived, although you can just imagine the optics if this does indeed come to pass on January the 1st, with Britons having to cancel any holiday plans to the continent that they had for the spring of next year. It wouldn't look very good at all.
Tig, thank you very much, our correspondent there in London.